For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
You call her Stephanie, I call her Effany. You call her Stephanie, I call her Effany.
All right, and welcome into another edition of Third and Manageable Podcast. I am your host, Matt Diegert, and as always, to my left, student body right.
but he's always right.
Absolutely, and we have a big game tomorrow. Huge game tomorrow. We want to thank all of our viewers so far, and hopefully you guys are joining us while we're watching the Lions Commanders game here on Fox down at Elliott Apollo's live. And we're gonna be breaking down this the Ravens game, the huge game for tomorrow at 6:30 for the Buffalo Bills. But first and foremost, student, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, trying to manage your anxiety as always. Matthew, we got a big one tomorrow. No reason to overhype it because the lights are bright here. Hope you guys appreciate the HD cameras. Good job, Matt. Wide pan. But the lights are going to be even brighter tomorrow. Set to face the Ravens in the AFC Divisional. That's going to kick off at 6:30 tomorrow at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. We know who they're playing. We know the implications. And there's a lot to talk about, Maddie. Got a lot of segments. We got Off the Rack.
Yep.
We got This Is Why You Suck.
Yep.
We got Who You Talking To.
Yes,
And we got The Peak in the Pit. That all comes today. Hey, if you guys play nice, we're going to open up the call line around 9:45, 716-393-5856. As always, please, no Harrison Phillips references to my appearance. So, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Let me get a Richter scale here. 1 to 10. How seismic is your anxiety for 6 p.m. tomorrow in Orchard Park?
Right now, it's probably a 6. By probably 3 o'clock tomorrow, it's going to be about a 10.
So you're trying to tell me you're going to go 6, not to midnight, 6 to 10?
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
So anyway, man, dude, a lot going on right now. A lot of football. Man, this is a cherry time to like a little contact, to like a little 6-man offensive line schemes, to like nickel-based defense. Matt, what do you think we're going to see first? We defer? We take the ball? We stuff it down their throats, or do we try and go for that illustrious double dip?
I think that they go. I think that they take the or defer to the second half if they win the coin toss. If not, I think Josh is going to stuff it right down their throats. They're gonna do whatever they can to get a lead on them. Whether it's stop them on defense and go drive down the field. I do expect to see a lot more base defense in 4-3. I know the Bills have a base defense of their base defense is nickel, but I think that they're going to need to use Dorian Williams, Matt Milano, and Terrell Bernard very heavily tomorrow to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, man, you nailed it right there. I put out an estimated projection of where I see us lining up percentage-wise tomorrow, and I hit it, Matt, for 70% in our base nickel defense. It's the Bills' most common defense all year. Prioritizes coverage against modern pass heavy, but also you do have to account for the mobility of that quarterback and the seismic chaos that King Henry can produce. On the other side, I kind of think a little bit of a 4-3. I pegged that around 15 to 20%. That's kind of more traditional. If we're trying to really focus down on giving them less optionality, that does prioritize and give us the ability to see a core 3 linebackers. 3 linebackers that, they weren't healthy the first time around, and that's what makes this game completely different, Maddie. How excited are you to be the healthiest we have been in some time in Oaks
Yeah,
Park?
I mean, it's a very big deal to be as healthy as the Bills are right now. I mean, everybody's healthy. It seems like Ray Davis is going to come off a concussion protocol for tomorrow's game. Alec Anderson, his calf strain seems to be doing very well. He's coming off, that calf strain from the Broncos game, but he seems to be doing well, and he seems to be.
Hey, how about getting a shout out from John Gruden?
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Definitely pretty big deal. But the thing I want to touch on real quick is as far as when you were talking about defense, we talk about it all the time when we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't want anybody less athletic to be chasing Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, Matt, explain what that means to us and what it means to the viewers, or at least should.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want somebody like an Ed Oliver or a Dwayne Smoot or a Dwayne Carter if he's in the lineup, or any of those guys on the, obviously Von Miller is probably close to it as
but
athletic, but he's not. So we want somebody like a Terrell Bernard, or Matt Milano, a Dorian Williams to be chasing Lamar Jackson down, keep the gap integrity that we have, and have to set the edges very well in this game.
If you're gonna be on the aggressive, you need to be athletic. Don't get in a no-win game of pursuing one of the best athletes to do it currently. And that's predicated because it's built in. One of the things that Jake and I talked about a lot was the optionality or the agency that these two quarterbacks have. And they're very different, yet they still retain their own agency as decision makers and as playmakers. The agency of which Lamar Jackson has. Yeah, that's built into RPOs. Well, that's built into options. That's built into draw plays. Mm-hmm. That is part of the scheme. It is predicated because it's built in. The optionality Josh has is pulling it down. If they catch him in a cover one rat spy that I always talk about, to check it to the swing to cook. That is part of overall decision making. So I think a core difference between these two offenses is the agency and optionality is built in the play calling with the Ravens, and it's built in the player of Josh Allen, kind of firing from the hip, but pragmatically. No cowboy ball, no hero ball, just Josh Allen ball.
Yeah, and we are going to probably need him to be Superman a little bit tomorrow, but that doesn't mean
calculated Superman.
Correct.
Just because you can make the throw
doesn't mean you have to, go out.
And that guy can make a lot of throws other people can't.
He can, and that's the thing. We got two. As much as they are as good as they are with their legs, there's a stark difference between the two because Lamar Jackson will just make you look stupid. Josh Allen will, run you over if he gets the chance because he does like taking that first hit of contact. And trying, but he has been sliding more this year, which is definitely a good thing for him.
Absolutely, but if you want to see it live, ticket prices according to StubHub, the get-in price, $163 will get you in section 307. Matt kind of dogged me last week. I was a club guy last week, all this insulation, sometimes I need the insurance to stay warm. I paid a mid-two handle for each for a ticket. Matt, you scumbag. You waited, and you played the game better than I do. Matt, what did you get in price last week for a club?
$63.
And how many rows were you in front of me?
2.
And how much do you think that hurt my ego?
A lot.
Anyway, we're going to go to commercial. I'm just kidding. So anyway, if you want to get in the game tomorrow, $163. That is a staunch difference from the game you're seeing right now, 16-14. The Commanders score. Second quarter.
Man, this feels like it's gonna be like a 40, almost a 90-point game, the way that they're scoring right now in this game. So it's definitely definitely something.
Yeah, we got wide receiver tunnel screens. If the Commanders get any farther, I think you have to keep the Commanders' name.
Yeah, and real quick, shout out to No One to Blame. Definitely check them out. Check that show out from last night. They already hit on one of their bets, Terry McLaurin, anytime touchdown. So that's definitely something that they put out there as one of their best bets. So that's definitely a good thing for them. Shout out to them.
And absolutely, if you want to talk gambling, the betting odds, point spread tomorrow, the Ravens are favored by 1.5. Money line, Ravens minus 118, Bills plus 100. Over under 51.5 points. What's juicy on those three subsets there, Maddie? You like the point spread? You like the money line or the over-under?
I like the under. I really do. I like the under a lot. I know Jesse probably rip on me and say take the over, hammer the over at that point. But here's the thing. It's going to be a cold game. It's going to be a very defensive game tomorrow is what I truly think we're probably going to see. I don't expect to see a lot of scoring. I expect to see a very ball control-esque type game.
I expect to see a lot of hair on that Ryan Fitzpatrick chest. We got a good legend of the game tomorrow. It's perfect. Stars align. You had an amazing one in terms of an order, in terms of a raw locker room guy who he didn't talk about it. He was being about it. Yeah. And you got Ryan Fitzpatrick. He got his wish. That is a driving force for me wanting to go. Those moments are special. And you know what was kind of funny last night, Manny? They were razzing Kevin. And when's the last time you were in the divisional? And it's like, lest we forget.
Right.
Games were blacked out.
I mean, let's be serious. Like he even said it. He kind of used the BC reference. It's before Josh Allen, right? So we got to remember that, and we got to enjoy this time, even if the worst case scenario happens and the Bills do lose tomorrow. We got to realize that it is a game. The other team is paid, handsomely, just like the Bills are. And they're paid to win just as well, and it's very hard to win in the NFL.
Well, to keep it the BC reference, we got a BC guy who's playing some dynamic football, and I think he is going to be big tomorrow. We got the guy, a Boston College alum, Matt Milano, man.
He is very important to this team tomorrow.
Sure.
Very important to this team.
He does a lot of things. He covers a lot of real estate, east-west, and he's able to converge quickly, and that is going to be important because he is one of the bigger bodies we have at linebacker. We don't stack up very, very big, especially when you have Taron Johnson, you have Bernard. They're not beefy guys. They're not gonna match up seismically with
Derrick Henry,
and that's why he's the king, man. Come at the king.
You best not miss.
So anyway, we're gonna bring it to our new segment. It is sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. People like it. I love it. Fat Boy Surf Club. Spencer Brown, Ryan Vandermark, Alec Anderson. They love it. That's why you should too. And on checkout, if you want a little 20% off, just go do checkout. Fat Boy Surf Club. All your surfing needs. Let's go off the rack. Maddie, what is this segment about?
Yeah, so it's going to be changes in on-field apparel, on-field equipment that we see, and the Ravens are going to be wearing a captain's patches for the first time.
First time ever, man.
Yeah.
First time ever. They're going to adorn the captain patches. And the 6 players that you are going to see wearing them: Lamar Jackson, tight end Mark Andrews, running back Derrick Henry, inside linebacker Roquan Smith. Thank you for resetting, by the way, the linebacker market. And we didn't chase Edmonds. Anyway, to round it out, Marlon Humphrey and Chris Board. Hey, man, they don't wear patches ever. They're wearing them tomorrow. Team. Do you think that has anything to do with the absolute seismic implications of this?
Nope, absolutely not, and it has nothing to do with anything. And truly, it is one of the just an off the cuff, off the rack that we had here this week. Normally, we're looking at players, what they're wearing, whether they're different helmets. We had James Cook's jersey, Spencer Brown's neck roll, Taylor Rapp's mini neck roll, the new helmet, the Guardian cap, things like that. So definitely be looking out for those. And let's get into our next one.
Our next one.
Here's why you suck.
Damn it. Here's why you suck. What a good one.
It comes down to it. You originally back in your freshman year.
Oh man, you're gonna put it up, aren't you?
Yeah. I am. Here it goes.
I can't believe you went here. Okay.
So Lamar Jackson's backup quarterback, Josh Johnson, still in the NFL.
Jesus, that's Jim Harbaugh.
Still in the NFL. Jim Harbaugh.
I think he got a DWI after this game.
That's absolutely crazy.
You want to tell the backstory and just murder me, or
no? Go right ahead.
So the first game I ever played in college was against the University of San Diego. Hey, you know who started his career at the University of San Diego?
Dalton Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid. So we're playing University of San Diego, and we are getting mollywopped, and they are still throwing the end zone. This is Jim Harbaugh pre-Stanford. He was the coach, but the backup quarterback to Lamar Jackson. I'm assuming this is why you put this up here and embarrass me. Is Josh Johnson? Man, that guy's still in the NFL, and I've gained and lost 100 pounds since then. So whose life's going better? Hint, not mine.
And real quick, just so everybody has an update.
Look how much hair I have.
Washington Commanders just intercepted Jared Goff and took it back for a pick 6. They are up by 10 right now, or 9 technically. After the point after, it'll be 10. So this is an upset alert.
Are you saying they're starting to gain a commanding lead, Matt?
Yes, I am saying they are gaining a commanding lead.
Nice, man. So, Matt, here's why you suck. I'm gonna let you load your own video, buddy. Matt's made some bad bets, some bad bets. Which one do you think is the worst, Matt? Which one hurts more? Being covered in vinegar-based condiments, that being ketchup and mustard, or you gracing this earth with way too much leg, way too much paleness, and probably a couple ingrown hairs?
Probably the Von Miller bet, probably the thigh dance bet, because had Von Miller played those 4 games, he was on a good pace. He had three sacks in his first 4 games, and then he got suspended. So that one probably hurts a little bit. But real quick, here we go.
We were just in our group chat talking shit as we do. Matt expressed his love for the Steelers to win outright this weekend in Baltimore, to which I replied, show bet. Immediately had to hop on that. The value was way
good job,
too good.
Matt.
Value is way too good. If you listen to No One to Blame, you know that we've been wanting to do a Pinto Ron bet for the longest time. If you're not familiar with Pinto Ron, if you're not in Bill's Mafia, Pinto Ron gets covered with ketchup and mustard at every single tailgate before the game. Show bet one more time. Matt has got the Pittsburgh Steelers to win outright. I've got the Baltimore Ravens to win outright. Loser will get Pinto Ron live on air once the weather hits 50 degrees in Buffalo, New York, wearing the other.
Not your best.
No, definitely not.
Why is that going down?
That is probably going down in the draft.
You gotta. I don't know who your bookie is, but for you to push that to more favorable climates.
Here's the thing, and here's it's not necessarily that it has to get to 50 degrees. Here's my thinking behind it is I have to be able to.
You have to be able to stop making these bets
into somewhere where I have to shower. Or anything like that, so I have to be able to be a hose down. So, with the ketchup and mustard. So it's definitely something that I am not looking forward to, but it definitely something that's going to be a fun time.
What's going to be a fun time tomorrow is some of these touchdown things last night. Hey, last week, man, I booked one with James Cook, put a few shekels on it, and you won, Matt. Is it at all but certainty, do you think Josh gets a rusher tomorrow? A little tutty.
I don't think it's very certain that Josh gets an anytime touchdown on that. Only because I think that they're going to be kind of watching against that, and unless they're on the goal line, I don't see Josh getting one, just because the way that the Ravens play defense.
Yeah, the Ravens play. They play a sticky defense, but I think there are some comments that were made, Matt, a couple weeks ago. You have any idea what comments that were made?
I don't.
It's you suck. No, I'm just kidding. Josh Allen being pretty forthcoming that their offense is kind of like an R.L. Stein novel. You remember those pick your own endings?
Yep.
Well, they haven't shown their endings. They haven't shown what dark alley they're able to go on. I'm going to do a pun here, alley. Wide receiver screens, tunnel screens. And what degree is that in the back of your mind that we might see some stuff tomorrow that we have not seen all year based on Josh's comments?
I really do think they're
I hope it's true.
I think they're going to open up the playbook fully and try and, bring out everything that they possibly can. Hopefully we don't see that weird trick play that they tried in week 4, just because they were starting to come back, they were starting to gain momentum, and then all of a sudden it was let go by the wayside, and they ended up scoring 2 more touchdowns and ended up beating us 35-10 in that place. And at that point it was 21-10, and the Bills were starting to come back. They finished that drive even with just a field goal. They're only down by 11 at that point.
I mean, yeah, that first quarter was bad. That first quarter, I mean, the Ravens set the tone early with Derrick Henry. He broke free for an 87 fucking yard 87 yard touchdown. Matt, these guys hold the ball well. How important is time of possession, game management, and do you think it's going to come down to who has the ball last? I hope not.
I don't think it's going to come down to who has the ball last. I really don't. I think that they, in my heart of hearts, I really think that the Bills are going to be have this game in command, and just like Josh said, he wants to hear Mr. Brightside and be off the field at that point. Just kind of like we talked about last week with the ball cap and everything like that. I don't think it's going to get to that point, but I do think that the Bills are going to put up a good effort.
Good effort. Oh, it's confidence inspiring.
I'm saying a good effort to get to that point where they're sitting on the sidelines and getting ready for Kansas City.
I think a big thing that was touched upon and a good thing to keep in your memory, the Lions score 24-21. Man, you might be right. This might be a shootout. So if you paid $850 to get in the game, watch the game, you're getting all your money right now. To get back to my point, though, man, Matt, we watched that game together, and you just saw the exhaustion from those linebackers because they never got a breath. Offense couldn't get anything going. That means they couldn't get any air in their lungs or time off their feet. That plays into how goddamn healthy we are now, man. And the optionality, when you have the health, you can play so many different schemes. We touched on it earlier, dude. The schemes that we're calling for tomorrow, nickel. I think we can play a little base. We can play a little hybrid. That hybrid might come out. 5 to 10 % of the time, defending the spread.
Bobby Babich is going to need to get some diagnose some of these blitzes, or call up some of the exotic looks to try and confuse Lamar in because they're not going to have Zay Flowers most likely, so they're going to be able to key on a lot of guys like Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, Wallace, and really kind of hold play a bigger box with that base defense and potentially drop down 8 in the box and try and stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Sure, and I think a big scheme, it seems like we've been talking about for 4 weeks, is that cover 1 look. That cover 1 maybe with a rat. If you're not listening, the cover 1 rat is predicated on a QB spy. Man, who do you think that's going to be implemented more by? The Ravens trying to spy on Josh, or inherently the Bills trying to spy on the legs of Lamar Jackson, man?
I truly think it's going to be more of a Bills type thing, trying to keep Lamar and Henry at bay, because they're going to try and need to fill that box up as much as they possibly can to try and thwart off any of the.
But it takes a man out of coverage.
It does.
Do
does.
you really want to play that game with Josh? Talk to me.
I don't. If I'm the Ravens, I don't want to play that type of a game where I'm taking a guy out of coverage, because we've seen it multiple times. They put up 30 points now 10 times this year, and including playoffs, and they just he finds the open guy. We saw it, getting everybody involved, whether it's Curtis Samuel, whether it's Mac Hollins, whether it's Ray Davis out of the backfield, or James Cook out of the backfield, or Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. As he gets these guys going, he's able to find these guys, because they're you can only hold coverage for so long.
I'll get roasted for this, man, but I don't care. It seems like when Lamar Jackson rips you for one, it's for a 37-yard gain, on some of that RPO stuff. When Josh rips you for one, he's going fucking yard. And he's got guys who can catch it. Reliable guys.
Yeah.
Guys there, we say all the time, Matt, if the ball hits your hands,
You got to catch
if
it.
the ball hits your hands,
You got to catch it.
and that's what the wide receivers of guys have been doing. They've been nothing short of just stalwarts for advancing the ball. They're reliable. They find themselves breaking off routes when the read gets to them. I could not be more impressed with that wide receiver room, that they don't take the opening, they don't take that blade of grass knowing that they're the second or third read. It seems like there's so much synergy of knowing where they are in the pass progressions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Brady's offense makes you defend every blade of grass. Just know when, the lawnmower, so to speak, is coming on your lawn. Mm-hmm. That was a terrible analogy. I'm going to put myself on mute for the next 10 seconds and punish myself.
No, you're not wrong though, because Joe Brady he does make you defend every blade of grass. He does. He's going to get these linebackers moving side to side and perpendicular to the offensive line. And the Ravens have a very very high in sacks this year, but the Bills have the number one sack offensive line.
What the fuck did you just say? The number one sack offensive line?
The number one. Okay, let me kind of explain that. So they've only given up 16 sacks this year to opposing defenses. They played the number one team defensive team in sacks last week. The Ravens are number 2.
And there it is, a full, complete thought out of my partner, Matt Diegert. Hey, we're moving on, man. This is one of my favorites. It always is. What's it called, Matty?
Peak in pit. Peak in the pit.
The peak in the pit. Matt, I start it to you. We have to discuss the peak of which we have to ascend to guarantee a win. But what is the pit in your stomach of how we lose? Matty, I start to you. What's the peak tomorrow?
Yeah, the peak is just Josh continuing to do what Josh does and finding the open guy, finding the best read that he can, whether it's checking the ball down to a James Cook or a Ray Davis or Ty Johnson, or having Ty Johnson open up on one of those wheel routes. That he threw a beautiful ball last week to him in the back of the end zone, and Ty Johnson was able to keep both feet in, a knee in, get down and really make a play for his quarterback. So on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 1 last week, which was absolutely amazing, and seeing that ball fly through the air live was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
All right, my peak, Matty. My peak is going to be time of possession. It is going to be absolutely being what we've been all year, protecting the rock. Don't put it on the ground. Don't put it on a purple pair of gloves, man. Mitigating unnecessary risk mitigates turnovers. Time of possession, protecting the rock. Protecting our dirt, man. It's going to be imperative tomorrow. It may seem like a broad-based statement, but I think, Matty, you're bagging what I'm breaking. So that is the peak of which we have to ascend to all but guarantee a win. Hey, Matt!
Yep.
What's the pit in your stomach? It almost guarantees a loss.
So here's the thing. Derrick Henry, I said it this morning on Hockey Hotline when Beyond and I previewed took about 5 minutes, previewed this game. The Buffalo Bills have held Derrick Henry under 100 yards in 4 of 6 matchups against him. That goes back to when he was on the Titans. But my pit is him actually, breaking another one off that for another, not necessarily an 87-yard run, but I could see him breaking off a big chunker, and whether he gets in the end zone or not, I mean, it's going to set them up in good field position.
Hey, Matty, the pit in my stomach is a one-possession game. We're too complete of a team. We're too complete of a team to have it predicated on a coin toss, to have it predicated on, those silly turnovers, to have it predicated on just one too many 3 and outs. That's a pit in my stomach, a one-possession game, because, I've had to digest it a while when we get to some of these stages,
Yeah.
The one-possession games. That's why what I've already digested is still in the pit of my stomach. Anyway, that's a peek in the pit that is sponsored by Fubo TV. Hey, you watching the game tomorrow? Put on Fubo. Turn us off. But turn up Eric Wood. How cool was Eric Wood last week, man?
Yeah, that was really good to hear from him, to have him on the podcast and breaking down what he saw. And I made we were joking around a little bit on Twitter after they won, and McDermott for something was 30-13. As far as I can't remember what the exact stat was, I'd have to go back and look, but he was 30-13, and Eric said the Bills were going to win 30-13. So, with that being said, I just made a little joke to him that's what he meant, is they were going to be 30-13.
We got a comment from Tommy Giamber. He's telling me that the pit for him is kind of what I spoke about, man. That one possession game, man. You know what kills me, Matt?
What's that?
It absolutely kills me. Is that nonsense line when the game is in crunch time, that all they have to do is cross that line. Those kicks are not binary.
Yeah.
How many extra points are? I mean, we watched the Texans miss what, 2 today? One.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they're going to be missing Stephon Diggs next year when he moves on to his 4th team. We don't root for maybe this one. So anyway, we're going to open up, actually. Oh, God. Don't make me regret this. We are going to open up the phone line for this. Twitter's been set ablaze. I try to largely ignore it because there's some ignorant stuff out there, man. When do you think this heated up so quickly? I mean, what was the catalyst that sports radio host? Oh, tell them what happened, Matty.
The Commanders just put up another touchdown. Zach
This is a fucking shootout.
Yeah, I mean, we already got 51 points. We already got 51 points before halftime, and I could see another 50 being put up in this game. It's absolutely ridiculous that they're not playing defense tonight in Detroit at Ford Field.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to what we said, if you want to talk about it, you want to talk some playoff football, you want to talk bets, you want to talk about your peak in your pit, give us a ring, 716-393-5856. We're going to open up the line right now, 716-393-5856. Matt, going back to what I was saying before, and I don't want to name the broadcaster or the sports personality, was that the kickoff? There's so much venom being spit on Twitter this week, man?
Which one?
I mean, you have eyes. You've been seeing how combative.
Yeah.
How combative the fan base is. I'm actually convinced half of the Baltimore Ravens fan base thinks they put on eye black on Sunday.
I mean, it's tough because I know exactly who you're talking about, and Eric did a great job kind of buttoning that up and trying to offer him a chance to come on his podcast and kind of talk about.
Is it worth it?
I mean, and that's the thing.
I don't want to speak for him. We're not speaking for Eric.
No, not at all. But especially with somebody like the person that we're talking about, the Bills fans, when his mother passed away, they donated to her chair or to a charity of.
No, you don't have to even get specific because it's a tale as old as time. The Bills fans were Bills fans. And yeah, it's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, I almost feel that way.
And to go with that, what have you done for me lately adage? Man, that game was a while ago. It was early in the season. A lot's changed. A lot stayed the same. But the best bits that have stayed the same are what make us, Matt. I've all but forgotten that Ravens thing. And I truly mean it. It wasn't a game where you got to cut off the tape and you go, run wind sprints and be like, there's nothing teachable from here. But I think we've learned every lesson, and we were almost like Billy Madison. We've gone from kindergarten to, making out with our tutor in senior year very quickly. And, I don't want to be finger painting. I want to be making out with the tutor.
But I mean, here's the thing. Great analogy, love it. But here's the thing. I mean, we might say we forget about it, but we heard it from Ed Oliver specifically this week. He literally said 2 words about it: "We remember."
Yeah.
And you'll see on our overlay, going through some of the the did you know stuff and the bars no bars. That's truly a bar from him. He definitely said some stuff this week, and a lot of players said a lot of things when it comes down to it, and it whether it was Roquan Smith saying it was simple or Von Miller saying it was
off. That was an off comment, man.
Von Miller on one of the podcasts saying that, all they got to do is make sure that they stay, within themselves, basically. It really comes down to the fact that these guys, they know what has to be done, but are they going to be able to do it? Because the other guy on the other side of the field is being paid to stop them from being that way.
The full game is over. Troy Washington almost hit by halftime. It is absolute scenes. Man, this is just exciting football. For the torment we had to be dealt with in the beginning of the season. What week, Matt, do you think we formed the identity of which we're playing 11-man football? When do you think we really fell into the cut, so to speak, to quote the Ravens fan Biz Marquis? Oh, baby, you! When do you think we fell into the cut and we found out who we were and we leaned into that confidence, Matt? What week was it for you?
I really think it was week 6 for me. They just became themselves. They really put that together in week 6, and you saw they didn't lose another game until they lost one to the Rams.
I mean, now that I asked you in the beginning of the show, we're mid-show. We chopped it up a little bit. I talked to you about my dumb coverage angles. We talked about captain's patches. We talked about Stephon Diggs just throwing lefties in his underwear on his couch. Where's the anxiety level now, Matt? Do you think it builds? Do you think it decreases? And when are you going to get comfortable? How big does that lead have to be? What quarter do we have to be in? And I know you were kidding before, but I don't think this is a new era cap game for Josh Allen, So... And we're going to field the call. Rules, as always. Scream as loud as you can.
Yeah. Hello?
What's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? You've reached Third Amendment Podcast. You're talking to Student, Body Right, and Matt Diegert. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And what are we talking about, baby?
This is Tommy calling from Virginia, and I'm here to talk the Bills game.
What question do you have, buddy, for me?
So how nervous are you for this game with Matt?
Maddie's asking us how nervous we are, and that kind of pivots off that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm nervous that your voice sounds like that.
But no, I mean, I'm very nervous for this game. I mean, I said it, on the ride over here, is I don't want to be having the season end tomorrow. I'm not ready for it. I'm truly not ready for it.
You said that on the car ride here. Yeah. Tommy, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How much anxiety are you going to have, and how's this going to change from quarter to quarter? Say it. I think we got it back. Yo, how's it going to change from quarter to quarter, Tommy?
Right off, because I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like if we toss, I feel like we receive. I think we should receive and make a statement and go right away. That.
Hey, Tommy, we appreciate the phone call. Anyway, T-Mobile, if you're listening, please sponsor us because that was hard to decipher. Who do you got on the call tomorrow, Matt, in deciphering what you should listen to and what's going to annoy you? Well, I mean, there's a 10. There's Collinsworth. There's 3-ish. That's Archuleta.
Yeah, I mean,
where's he actually in the North scale?
We got Jim Nantz calling his 501st game. We were both there. They announced that in the stadium, his 500th game that he called last week. 500 NFL game he called last week, which was awesome. But I think that they have a good crew to go in tomorrow for calling the game. So I think that Tony Romo and Jim Nantz are the best ones to call this game.
And if you guys are tailgating tomorrow, stop by the Mafia House. Good friend of the show, Be Cool Fo. Who does he sponsor? What kind of work does he do? And how tethered are we to Poncho's Army, man? Poncho, rest in peace, man. But
yeah, hopefully he's up there helping, helping out. helping out as much as he possibly can for this Bills game, and because we'd like to see, I'm sure we're not the only ones that would like to see that the Bills go on a run here.
So anyway, Tommy, we appreciate the phone call. Some of these guys that are core fans, like Talbot, some of these guys are core fans, like Eric and stuff like that. It's got to be really, really, really hard. As we get deeper into the season, for the passion not to come out and for the pragmatism kind of to take over. In dealing with pragmatism, check out the ref report. We spend a lot of time on the referee report. Matt Diegert, if we spend so much time on it, articulate why it matters.
Yeah, so I mean, it shows that in 76% of the games, home field advantage is a huge thing for Carl Cheffers. 76% of the time, the home team wins when he is the ref. Here's the thing: the Bills are one of the most called false start teams in the NFL. He is the least call. He calls them the least, and the Ravens are one of the most penalized teams for defensive PI, defensive holding, and his crew calls it the most. And the only thing that changed from his crew is the line judge and the field judge.
Isn't this kind of like a cut stitch? Is this? Yeah, you were just about to say, and I cut you off. Wow, I'm a great host. Yeah, why did they switch that up? Any reason or anything like that, or?
I think it's just because of the playoffs, getting the best guys on the field.
I hate that. Why do you task? Why do you task someone? It doesn't make any sense to you. Tasking someone to work within tandem of your heads lineman, your umpire, your back judge. You all have to have such communicative skills to get the right call, because everybody has different vantage points. Why are they switching that up? Why is it a composite team, Matt? I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, explain that to me. What you mean?
A composite team, like they're copying different people from different crews. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand you want to incentivize the best grade outs and the best of your position, but I mean, teams matter in right down to your ref crew, man.
Yeah,
it's you getting into ebbs and flows and I don't know, man. It just never made sense to me. I get the incentivization thing. I get that you want to reward, your best performing individuals when you work for the Shield, but like, I mean, get your best crews to go to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I get
well,
that.
Why are we fucking with something we've done for 18 weeks in a row?
I mean, I get that, but also, too, you want to make sure that the best crews are on the field so that...
Right, the best crews, not the best individuals.
But if they could add pieces to that, it's like free agency in a team. You want to add a piece, or you want to add something that's going to make the ref crew better, on things that they might miss.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still waiting to see. I mean, who did they think they awarded the best sky judge?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, was he 1-0 in the pylon cam? So, man, I don't know, man. But speaking of field conditions tomorrow, it's gonna be a cold one. And Matt, to dispel some kind of a fallacy in logic, that field.
Yeah.
Added value right there, guys. That's why you listen to us.
You didn't finish your thought.
Because I was trying to make sure you were bagging what I'm raking. Hey, man, that field's not heated.
No, it is not heated, and we heard it from John Harbaugh earlier in the year, or earlier this week. They practiced inside the field because they thought that the field was heated. It's not the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, Donovan McNabb didn't know you could tie in overtime, so we live and we learn. But this is also a Harbaugh family that knew the free kick rule.
That is true. That is 100% true, and that free kick helped.
I just drew that correlation
win a
live.
Game.
Now, Matt, a little abstract question, right?
Yep.
If, say, we had red helmets.
Okay. We have red helmets.
Okay. Would it be breaking? We're not. We know what we're wearing tomorrow. We do. But hypothetically, red helmets mean a bigger deal this week or away on the road in Kansas City if we take care of business tomorrow?
I think that they mean more tomorrow, being at home. So, yeah, I mean, I think that they definitely mean more tomorrow. You know, if they were to be able to wear them, but they're clearly not. They're wearing their normal white helmets. They're wearing
Okay, just keep going. No different.
They're wearing their blue tops. They're wearing the white pants. And I did see something that they have a better record in those against the Ravens. So,
man, Matt, I got to tell you, how much does ritual mean when you're trying to replicate the success of which we've had all year, and how much do you want to mess with that ritual just a little bit, tweak the finer things for this one game instance, or do you think we've already done that and already learned from the shortcomings last time we played them? How much? I don't think there's much tweak. I mean, these are pro athletes, right? You're not tweaking much.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're changing your entire philosophy or anything like that. No. But I think there's going to be a lot of tweaks within the coordinator rooms and everything like that. We saw, Sean McDermott spent a little time with his family, and then he got right back to work on Sunday night after their game there.
Oh yeah, and oh man, some people had opinions about Joe Brady taking some interviews. Hey man, life doesn't stop. And you know what, Matt, give me the field on this one. Guys, wide shot. If you're courting someone for a head coaching job, that means they get it. That's predicated on the team getting it. They know what's at stake. It's not a distraction, right? But the team granting him permission to take a Zoom call or stuff like that means they're secure. And it's not going to mess with preparation. So if anybody has a problem with having exploratory quick Zoom calls, and you don't think that the team interviewing them knows not to get too heavy, not to deep dive into the 12-foot pool about philosophy, about being overbearing, and if you don't think that team needs that person, because if they're having interviews, that means they're not of the success the guy they're interviewing has achieved.
Well, and it comes down to it, too, that's why you saw the interviews on Friday and
Crazy.
Saturday. You saw them on Friday and Saturday because they've already gone through the week of preparation. They found hopefully a sweet spot where they're not worried about Joe Brady having his mind on his interviews, whether he blew it or whether he did a great job. So I mean it's tough as a fan to sit here and say, yeah, that sucks, but when it comes down to it, life doesn't stop.
It also sucks when fans think that they have perfect information.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if the Bills get blown out like 51-3 tomorrow, then you might see some things change. You might see the Bills' philosophy change on that a little bit. But
I don't think so.
I really don't think that it's that big of a deal.
We've been through Dabes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been, Doug Marrone. He left at the midnight hour, but don't think there's side conversations and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just think it's whack to criticize someone taking a Zoom call. I think there's an air of arrogance that you're fans.
Right.
You don't have all the information.
Right.
And if you think the minute someone hits end Skype that the team has any duty to tweet out that a hiring action or an exploratory interview took place, whack.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm banging on people. I just thought that should have been understood.
And I get it. I get it from both sides, though. I really do get it from both sides because, like, if Joe Brady's not focused, but he's been focusing all week.
If Joe Brady's not focused, then the team doesn't. The Bills don't grant him permission to take those phone calls. I don't know, a little bit of a tangent there, but whatever. Hey man, these are some people kind of in different scenarios. This is Joe Brady having his first full season, not his first at the helm of the playoffs. If you had to pick anybody of the tabletop being the head coach, one leg, Joe Brady, one leg, Smiley, one leg, Bobby Babich, we'll say it on three. Who you can serve for? 1, 2, 3, Smiley.
I mean, it comes down to it is that special teams unit scares me a little bit.
It scares me that we're messing around so much because if you haven't put together on special teams and you still have to plug in experiments, you're taking away a roster spot.
Yeah.
I don't have any inside information, and we texted the Peeps. We even asked Eric Wood. Man, Ryan Vandermark, that seems like a weird scratch last week, right?
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I mean, my dumb head thinks that. Is there a plug-in scenario that shores up our special teams? If you believe it's a third of the game, it's fucking up 40% of us. I mean, the bad situations we find ourselves in far too many times are just lack of discipline and concentration on that special teams unit, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Excuse me, I got fired up. To have the balls, Matt. To have the fucking balls when you're in your own territory to call a fake punt?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
That means they saw something so concrete on film that they're like, hey, this is an absolute all systems go if we get this look.
Right.
That takes chutzpah. But,
right.
But does it?
What did we see right after, though? What did you see right after that play?
I don't know.
You saw Christian Benford and Rasul Douglas on the field playing against their gunners, so that wouldn't happen.
Matt, they saw something on film when they were in their own territory that they were so sure of that didn't seem like a gamble.
I understand that completely. I'm just saying, what did the Bills do afterwards? They put
It doesn't matter. What did they put on film that was so undisciplined that goes from a gamble to a let's fucking roll if we get this look?
Well, but also too, you got to think about it. It's Sean Payton too. He's the one who fake onside kicked it in the Super Bowl.
Okay, if you love Dan Campbell and you love his gambling, that call gets called. You play the Lions.
But I get it too. They're trying to steal a possession and try and get within at least field goal range.
I mean, you have a Pro Bowl. Was it a Pro Bowl or an alternate All Pro guy out of Matt Ariza? Remember him from the Chiefs?
Yeah.
That probably gets called there too. A lesser team was so confident that our special teams put something on film, a glaring error that, I mean, it's unsettling to me, bro. It's unsettling. But hey, if you want to talk about 716-393-5856, we'll take that phone call. Talk to me about Babbage. Talk to me about Smiley. Talk to me about Joe Brady. Talk to me nicey, baby.
Yeah, and I just want to put them on screen real quick. You can check them out in their full detail on Twitter at Dude Champions. Both the offense report, as you can see it on screen, it's broken down. Success rate, percentages, and what personnel the Bills ran against the Ravens in Week 4, and then what they've been doing all season, and then also the defense report, what the Bills did against the Ravens in Week 4, and then also what they've done all season through the wild card game.
All right, Matt, you tell me right now. We've reached that point in the show. If you guys want to seek one more phone call, we'll certainly entertain it. Hey, Matt.
Yep.
Who are you talking to?
Oof, this is a tough one this week because I always talk to a specific player, but I don't know. I gotta go back to the well and talk to the entire team. I really do. It's worked in the past. Not that they're listening to me or anything like that, but they have to play within their means. The defense has to, like I said before, they have to have gap integrity. They have to set the edge very, very well, because if they don't and they're undisciplined, Lamar Jackson's going to take one to the house. Derrick Henry's going to take one to the house.
Yeah, you're probably right, dude.
Who are you talking to?
I'm going to talk to the big dog. Going to talk to the Cali kid. Man, he's everything you need, Matty. Everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
I mean, it's just, he's been just a joy to watch. He's been admonished. I hope he's with us for a very, very long time, Matt. Mr. Number 70, talking to this guy.
Yeah.
Alec, what a joy you've been to watch. Friend of the show.
friend of the network.
Friend of the nasty. So play us out, guys. I hope you join us for the post-game show. I hope we're looking forward. I hope good things happen, Matt. We deserve it. We've been passionately optimistic, and we've been passionately rewarded. Let's get another notch in our belt, man.
Let's get another W. Add off to the AFC Championship game, and we can come back and talk about the Chiefs next week. Hopefully that's what we're doing. But we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And real quick before we play out of here, we want to thank all of our sponsors.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Dew Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Dew Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Dew Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs. Down at Elliot Apollo's. Thank you to everybody. Thank you also all season too. If this is the last week we're on for this season, thank you to Student, my co-host, as always. And with that being said, go Bills.
hey, Matt.
Good to be seen.